The well is a vertical self-management center, which is a polite term for a prison, shaped like a tower. It houses residents, per floor. The tower has 333 floors, holding a total of 666 prisoners, which at least can be called a strange number. In the center of the tower is a gap, with a huge banquet platform that drops from there, theoretically capable of feeding everyone inside. The platform descends floor by floor, staying a few minutes, which is the necessary time for the residents to eat. Residents are assigned randomly to floors each month, maybe 1 month on the first floor, next month in the middle, then the top floor, or, if unlucky, staying on the last floor for consecutive months. Each person eats only what is needed so that the residents can survive each month without starving. I'm joking. It's clear that the people in the well won't do that, or else the movie wouldn't exist. There's an abusive government in the well that locks up various people, criminals, mentally ill, murderers, so you always need to stay alert. I'm watching your roommate, who's above, who's below, because they are the beneficiaries for this month, free to eat without worry, while those on lower floors barely have food, leading to suicides, deaths from hunger, and even self-inflicted killings. Why should they care about the ones below? If they don't have the power to control them, the ones below can't even shit. When they are below, the same thing happens. No one sympathizes. So, they just repeat the same actions, creating a vicious cycle because of the rules. What would you do if you woke up on floor 48 of the tower tomorrow? What can you do? In this video from the Beating the Well movie, we'll show you how to beat the rules. But first, let's look at the rules of the Vertical Self-Management Center. You can take an item. You can take any item. Knives, guns, ropes, anything that fits in your bag. You are assigned to a random floor. At the end of each month, you'll be hypnotized and moved to a new room. Kumi. Your companions are random. If your cellmate dies, you'll get a new one at the end of the month. Food is served on a concrete platform once a day. Theoretically, it should be correctly allocated, and it should last all the way down the floors. You cannot store food. Once the platform starts descending, if you've stored any food, the administrators will do two things: burn you alive or freeze you. Don't try to be clever. You cannot lay down without consequences. No one wants more company. Outside of these rules, anything goes: killing, self-inflicted harm. These things happen on floors without food. This is why we should read the terms before signing a contract. Solutions. So here's how we beat the well. Quote, kill everyone. If everyone is dead, food won't be an issue. But this depends a lot on your antisocial level. Some people can't do this. Baseball. But if you didn't apply like Goreng, then you're certainly not a saint. This is basically what happens in the movie when Goreng and Bharat try to force residents to follow rationing. When the platform arrives with food, find something you can use as a weapon and follow the platform down. Now, as the platform rises again, it's 500, because you don't know if it'll stop exactly at the ground floor, or if it will pass through and crush you with the food. If you kill everyone on floor 5 before reaching floor 333, you'll get the same amount of food until the end of the month, and you won't starve. Even though the government has candidates who could enter the tower, they barely have enough people to replace everyone on every floor. Wait, if you're staying in the well for a short time and have a lot of body fat, you can wait a bit, depending on your luck. But if you stay too long, your chances of survival drop significantly. The platform is only a few minutes away from the hotel, so everyone attacks the food, and very little is left for the lower floors. So if you end up staying below floor 100, it'll get very tricky without food. We know Goreng volunteered for 6 months and Trimagasi had a year, so Goreng would go through 6 rooms. Brazilians average 70 kilograms, 1.73 meters tall, and 20% body fat. If you're fat like Trimagasi, you'll have better survival chances. And those used to fasting will also have an advantage in this strategy. The longest record of not eating is 50 days. So if you have a 6-month sentence, you'll need to spend at least 4 months on floors with food, or be lucky enough to rotate between a food floor and one without food. Trimagasi was lucky because he was already on the 3rd month of being in the well. Since he had to stay 12 months, his chances were only 0.17%. With luck, he should have left to participate in a big competition. But he was stabbed, so I don't think he was that lucky. Get on the platform. If you're too weak, old, sick, or not crazy enough to use solution number 1, and your sentence is longer than 3 months, you can try to hitch a ride on the descending platform and try to climb back on the way up after it has gone all the way down, but you might die on the way or be crushed on the way up. Don't volunteer. Would a mentally sane person willingly go to a place called the well? Obviously, some characters know what the well is, like Baharat, who tries to escape with a rope, so he knows what the facility is like. Others, holding swords and weapons, indicate they know it's dangerous. From the questionnaire given to Goreng, he must have suspected that this wasn't a very friendly place. That part is just giving up. Now, if you know what this place is like, or have been sentenced to stay there, what can you bring that's useful? Bring something useful, anything other than books. Ideally, bring something that can be used as a weapon. Of course, books can be used as weapons, but you're not John Wick, so forget it. A sword or knife is the idea. If you can bring ammunition, a handgun will be very useful, but you'll need at least 1,000 rounds to take care of everyone in the tower. If you can bring a backpack, all of this can fit in, and you can make your food last at least another month. Ladders, ropes, climbing gear aren't very helpful, because you'll depend on who's above and whether they'll lend you a hand. You could also use a sledgehammer, and I'll explain why in the next solution. Break through walls to find ventilation pipes. This needs a bit of explanation from the movie. When Goreng took a fruit from the platform and saved it for later, the room started heating up. He needed to throw the food back on the platform, which meant some places needed warm or cool air, and there are cameras monitoring the prisoners. If you use a sledgehammer or even a samurai sword, according to Trimagasi, you can cut through bricks. You could look for ventilation pipes for heating and cooling the room and break through them to see if escaping through them is possible. But this solution depends on a lot of luck. The walls might be too thick to tear down, and the pipes might be too small for you to crawl through and reach anywhere. Scale. This solution requires a lot of technique and luck, because whoever is above won't notice what you're doing. I'd make a rope from sheets and clothes. When the platform rises, I'd throw the rope down and climb up. The people above wouldn't notice because they'd be too busy eating. Once the platform starts descending, I'd quickly grab it and go up to the next floor. Of course, all of this involves killing the residents of that floor because I'm sure I wouldn't be welcome there. I'd repeat this every day, but I'd have to be on the 30th floor, and I only have 30 days to execute this plan. These are the 7 solutions I came up with for the well. What do you think? Do you agree or disagree with these ideas? Got a better idea? Let me know in the comments. You can also leave suggestions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.